Huh.
I'm not liking the unflattering camera angle. I don't have this all set up the way I did at home, you know?
All right. Who are you taking care of, Mr. Dowd?
So today, Your Honor, I have Adrian Avisha, and then we need to speak briefly about Julian Gomez, who our office withdrew from, but it looks like it still has me down for the misdemeanor, even though I shouldn't be.
Okay, you withdrew on the felony?
We withdrew on both, Your Honor, but I think what happened was that the private bar only issued their appearance on the felony. So then it just didn't get switched over on the misdemeanor. But I can't say that for certain. All I see is that our attorney from our office filed this motion to withdraw, and it was granted. But then I'm
You
still
have
on
an
the.
order that says it was granted?
Let me look real quick and see if I can pull it up for you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Your Honor, I believe Mr. Gomez has Mr. Kinata as his felony attorney.
And the order to withdraw was denied.
Oh, it was. Okay. Well, this was not originally my client, so I don't. Okay. Well, all right then. I guess he's my client now. It's always a fun situation, Your Honor, whenever I'm the misdemeanor attorney and the felony is a private guy. You know, that's so much fun.
Yeah. Okay. Downtown, good morning. Who do you have?
Good morning, Mr. Angel Tovar.
Is that yours too, Mr. Dowd, or
I
not?
don't believe so, Your Honor.
No.
The only one I have left to talk about is Adrian Avisha.
Okay, let me get Mr. Georges in here. Good morning, Mr. Georges. We have your client here, so let's go ahead and get started. Court calls the case of State of Texas versus Angel Tovar, cause number 2019-0C03218. We're here on the bond reduction. What says the state?
Hunter Griffin for the state. The state is ready.
And the defense.
We're ready, Judge.
All right. Please identify yourself for the record, Mr. Georges.
I'm sorry, Gerald Georges for Angel Ontiveros Tovar.
You are Angel Tovar?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. What do you have, Mr. Georges?
Okay, Judge. Well, Mr. Tovar, he's currently residing at 259 Turquoise in El Paso, Texas. He has a phone number which I've called, and his message comes up. So that's always hopeful. I mean, it's, in other words, it says this is Angel Tovar, and he lives at his address with his wife and two kids, which he supports all of them, or tends to support them. His wife also works. He says he may have access to as much as $300, and that's all we have. I mean, he had didn't come to a court hearing in 2019.
Okay. Mr. Griffin, do you have anything?
Yes, briefly, Your Honor. The NISI has been outstanding since April of 2019. I believe the amount of his bond is $6,000. Due to his since he hasn't appeared for court for almost 2 years on this case, I think that that bond is reasonable. And the state's current offer is credit for time served with forfeiture of the handgun.
Okay,
As far as his prior criminal history, he has a few felonies out of New Mexico, a robbery from 2013, and a unlawful taking a vehicle from 2006, as well as a few misdemeanors, all out of New Mexico.
all right. What do you do for a living, Mr. Tovar?
I work on fixing appliances, Your Honor, dryers and washers for Mr. Bandera's appliances. That's what I was
Why
working.
did your application said you were unemployed?
Because I was working there, but I'm not working there no more. I lost my job. That's why, you know what I mean? That's where I was working at. But I just have something to say, Your Honor, if you could let me say it briefly. I never had a handgun or nothing, Your Honor. You could check the fingerprints, everything. I never had a handgun. I was walking and the cops stopped me and they pulled me over and then they got me and they said that I had a handgun and I never had a handgun on me. I swear to God, I never had a handgun. I raised my hand. You can check the fingerprints and everything. I never had a handgun. Never in my life I had a handgun with me. Never. I swear, and everything I love, my kids, everything. I never had a gun. You can check.
Well, thankfully, it's not up to me to check the fingerprints, Mr. Tovar.
Yes.
I am going to, and so why did you fail to appear for court in 2019, Mr. Tovar?
Maybe because I forgot about it, Your Honor. I don't know. I had too much stuff going on. I forgot about it. I'm really sorry about it. You know what I mean?
I don't want you to be sorry, sir. I want you to show up.
Yeah, I wanna be man up and show up to court.
We had to wait 3 years for you to show up.
Yeah, I'll show up to court, but you know, I don't have no money to pay you guys to get out. You know what I mean? So I don't have no money right now. So, but I'll show up to court. I'll give you my word as man that I will show up to court.
Well, that's what you did the last time you bonded out. And look how that turned out.
Yeah, but
Okay, the court at this time is going to reduce the bond to 3,000 surety. And then if he gets out, Mr. Georges, we will be setting this for a pretrial. Anything further?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing from the defense, Judge.
Okay. You may be excused. Oh, you have another one, right, Mr. Georges?
Actually, he pled out yesterday.
Okay, then you may be excused
Okay,
as well.
thank you, Judge.
Downtown, do you have anybody else?
No, ma'am. He's the only one.
Thank you very much. You may be excused.
Thank you, bye.
Let me have Mr. Avetia, please.
Hello.
Okay. Court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Adrian Avetia, cause numbers 2022-0C00676 and 2022-0C01618. We're here on a bond reduction. What says the state
Hunter Griffin for the state is ready.
and the defense?
Joseph down for the defense. The defense is ready, Your Honor.
You are Adrian Avetia.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand. Solemnly swear or affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. I didn't hear you, Mr. Avetia.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What do you have, Mr. Dowd?
Well, Your Honor, right now we have a P file case that's another criminal trespass, the same location, the Walmart. We've got an offer on the table from the prosecutor that I'd like to talk to my client about, but because that other case is in pre-file, we can't really move on it either to get it dismissed or to get it worked out in a plea deal. And I think we're in a similar spot as far as the bond goes. But after talking to Mr. Griffin, he says he should have it presented by early next week. And then we can proceed on Thursday with either a bond hearing or a plea hearing, depending on what my client would like to do.
Okay.
Hunter, is that accurate?
Yes, that's accurate. I think we have this case in our office, so it just needs to be screened. So I believe it can be filed in time for a plea hearing on next Thursday.
Okay. So you don't want to proceed today, Mr. Dow?
If I can have a moment to talk to my client in the breakout room, just to explain to him why we're making that choice and make sure he's okay with it. But yes, ma'am. After that, I don't believe we'll have anything else to do today with him.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Mr. Caballero, who are you on?
Hi, Judge. I'm here on Manuel Chavez Reina
Okay.
or Manuel Reina Chavez. Sometimes it's backwards.
All right. We'll get to him right after this.
Yes, Judge.
Howdy, Your Honor.
Okay, you're back.
Yes, Your Honor. After discussing with my client, we'd like to waive today's bond hearing and ask that we be set for a plea hearing next Thursday.
Okay, we will see you next week.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alex, can I have Manuel Reina Chavez, please?
All right, thank you.
With that, Your Honor, I believe that's my last client for the day, unless you'd like to take up some matter on Julian Gomez, the one that,
Yes, we're
Okay,
going
then I'll
to
wait.
touch base with Mr. Gomez, and then I also have a Cyrus Arnold. That's a public defender
that's
case.
Brent Stevens, Your Honor. Now, if he's not here, I can cover for him, but
Judge, Mr. Stevens is in the 210th right now, speaking with the judge in the 210th, and then he'll be on shortly after.
okay.
Okay,
Then I'll just wait for Mr. Gomez. Thank you.
all right. We'll take care of him right after this. Okay, Mr. Reina Chavez is just a status hearing. I know he has that one felony and he's got over 175 days credit on all these misdemeanors. Well, on 4 of the misdemeanors, on 2 misdemeanors, he's not even booked, so he's not earning any credit, Mr. Caballero.
Yes, Judge. He, on this particular case, there's a second misdemeanor, I mean, there's a second felony as well, Judge. There was 2, I believe. Yes. So last time we were here, we were waiting on the Padilla attorney that my office was hiring. She just started, and we're working on trying to craft an offer that if the D is willing to extend, we could accept, and he can maintain his status here in the United States. In addition to that, there's also there's 2 P files that are kind of holding things up as well. It's an unlawful carrying a weapon and evading arrest detention. It's been, I believe, over 180 days on those. Because they haven't been filed yet, Your Honor, I'm inclined to file a motion, I guess, to get those dismissed because they haven't been filed under 3201.
Okay.
So, yeah, so he has a bond hearing also coming up. It should be either next week or the following week in the felony court as well.
Okay, what is his second felony?
There was one robbery, Judge, 2020 0D02491, and then there's another charge, 2021 0D03193, burglary, habitation, and robbery. We have non-prosecution statements on those affidavits.
All right.
On the second one.
Okay. And are you working out a time rec or probation rec?
Probation, Judge. If it would be a time rec, it would probably disqualify him if you were to do anything beyond a year. So it would be a probation rec.
Okay. Hunter, do you have anything?
Just briefly, the unlawful carrying a weapon and the evading, they haven't been presented to our office. I have requested those from the PD. However, I don't know when they will be presented. And as far as our misdemeanors, I believe the current rec is that a plea to the felony will dismiss all of these misdemeanors.
Okay. Wow. How much longer do you need, Mr. Caballero?
I believe we can resolve the case probably in 30 days, Judge.
Okay. Then please get back to us as soon as you expect this case to be, or these cases to be resolved.
Yes, Your Honor. If I may just quickly speak to Mr. Chavez, just to let him know that I scheduled a phone call with him tomorrow. I'll speak to him tomorrow in the afternoon, okay? Manuel?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Judge.
All right. Thank you. Yes, sir. Let me have Julian Gomez, please.
Thank you, Judge. Los clases.
I don't know what I'm gonna tell this guy because
Well, this too is a status hearing.
I've just not been able to get a hold of I tried just now to get a hold of his new private attorney, but
Sorry, Your Honor, who's the next defendant?
Julian Gomez,
It's coming up.
the felony attorney you said was Derek Inata?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, well, that's probably gonna have to change.
Yeah, I would assume so, given recent events.
Well, we're gonna find out who's gonna take over those cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Gomez, we're here on the misdemeanor only to try to find out what's going on and see if there's any way to move the misdemeanor without having to wait for the felony. So, Mr. Dowd, do you have any?
Your Honor,
idea?
I do not anticipate we'll be able to move the misdemeanor until we figure out what's going on with this felony. There's always the possibility when you're negotiating the felony that they can wrap this misdemeanor up in it. And I wouldn't feel right going separately just because there've been some attorney issues on the felony thing.
Hunter, is it tied to the felony?
Give me one moment, Your Honor.
All right.
Yes, it's all the same criminal episode as both counts of the felony.
I should have clarified that, Your Honor. I apologize. That's why I don't want to do anything with it.
Well, he's got over 370 days, 72 days on here, which is more than enough. Would you try getting a hold of Mr. Kinata and see who he anticipates will be taking over his cases and what the status of the felony is?
Yes,
and
Your
the
Honor.
court will do likewise.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Okay, we will get back to you, Mr. Gomez, once we know more about your felony case.
Your Honor, if I may,
Yes, sir.
I haven't been lucky enough to get a hold of Mr. Ginata. I've already submitted a motion to dismiss counsel about 2 months ago, and I've been having real bad luck with that man, and I need some help removing him from my case, from my felony cases.
All right, well, unfortunately, you'll have to deal with a felony court on that. I can't help you on that. But we will try to get a hold of him and see what's going on and see if we can't get these cases moving a little quicker. All right?
Yes, ma'am.
So we will get back to you once we reach Mr. Kinata.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay.
Your Honor, with that, that's my last client for the day. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I hope you'll have a pleasant weekend.
You too. Okay, may I have Mr. Mendoza, please?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. All right, court calls the cases of the state of Texas versus Pablo Mendoza, cause number 2021-0C-00879 and 2021-0C-01431. We're here in defendant's pleas of true. What says the state?
Hunter Griffin for the state. The state is ready.
Peter Escobar, on behalf of Mr. Mendoza, and we are ready, Judge.
You are Pablo
Your
Mendoza?
Honor, ready?
You are Pablo Mendoza?
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony you may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Pablo Mendoza that was placed on probation on both these cases, June 17, 2021, out of this court?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your signature on that judgment there?
Mr. Mendoza.
Okay, what about that second judgment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Paragraph 2 of the motion to revoke alleges that on March 2022, you failed to report. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Paragraph 3 alleges that you failed to take a UA August of 2021. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
That on April 2022, you failed to take a UA. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That between June 2021 and March 2022, you failed to do your community service hours. True?
True.
That between June 2021 and March 2022, you failed to pay your community supervision fees. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
That you failed to pay your court-ordered financial obligations. True?
Yes, ma'am.
And lastly, that you failed to complete the anger management within 90 days. Is that true? Court will find that you are one and the same. Pablo Mendoza was placed on probation for criminal trespass in this first cause number and violation of protective order, June 17, 2021, out of this court, that the terms and condition of your probation were lawful and reasonable, and paragraphs 2 through 8 of the motion to revoke are true. At this time, the court will find you guilty, revoke your probation, sentence you to 45 days plus court costs with credit for all time served on everything. 2 cases to run concurrent with each other. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
Nothing further, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Then you may be excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so now we're just waiting for Mr. Stevens.
He just asked for the Zoom link, Judge, so I'm assuming he's going to be on right now.
Yes, there he is.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, ma'am. That's all you have? Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too. Mr. Stevens, are you with us?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. May I have Mr. Arnold?
Yes, ma'am.
How are you, Brent?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Good.
Good. I'm glad to hear it.
Okay. Court calls a case of the state of Texas versus Cyrus Arnold, cause number 2022-0C0-1192. We're here on a bond reduction. What says the state?
Mr. Griffin for the state is ready.
Brent Stevens for Mr. Arnold. We're ready, Your Honor.
You are Cyrus Arnold.
Yes, ma'am.
Raise your right hand, sir. Solemnly swear affirm testimony may give in this matter be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Who do you have, Mr. Stevens?
Your Honor, the last case that is holding Mr. Arnold is this criminal mischief. I believe it's $2,500.
$300, I believe.
Is it 300? Oh, that's right. You already reduced it a little bit to 300 just like a week ago. I spoke to Mr. Arnold and his grandfather was going to attempt to try to get that, but apparently not. So he's 36. He's born in El Paso. He's a United States citizen. He's been here his whole life. If he's released, he's going to need to start off at rapid rehousing or at the OC. He does painting as his employment. He works, goes around painting on the addresses on the curbs. He has a person that he works with doing that. And they also do mobile detail services. And I believe Mr. Arnold indicated he would be able to do that if he's released. He has his GED. He went to Andrus High School for up to the 12th grade, but like I said, received his GED. He has one child, an 11-year-old girl, and she lives out of state. His father lives in Pennsylvania, but his grandfather lives in El Paso. But I do not believe he can live with his grandfather, but there's no Social Security employment, but there is 1622 information, which I won't go over on Zoom, but I would recommend a link with Takumi if released.
Okay. Hunter, do you have anything?
Yes, this is the only case holding him up. He was granted PR bond on his felonies that occurred after our case. The state is fine with him being released to Takumi for treatment, as well as far as this case goes in resolving it, it's a broken window of a business. So if he was to pay restitution, I would be happy to dismiss.
I
All right.
appreciate that, and we'll keep that in mind, Mr. Griffin.
If there's any way he could post the surety bond, because he had been out on PR until he picked up those 4 new offenses. So I really don't think he's a good candidate for PR bond. Is there any kind of surety bond that he can post?
Judge, my recollection is his grandfather previously posted a $100 surety bond on a different bond that was just set, but his grandfather was unable to come up with anything further. So they did, I don't remember which case it is, but one of them has a $100 surety bond, and that was posted. But I don't think he can come up with anything else, Judge, as far as I know.
All right. Is the evading a felony or a misdemeanor?
It's a felony, Your Honor. He has a prior conviction.
Okay. All right, then, Mr. Arnold, I'm going to grant you a $300 PR bond, but Takumi will be part of the conditions. And if you get arrested again for anything, you will be sitting in jail until this case is resolved. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, we do.
You will have to be reporting to PR bonds. There's conditions that you have to meet, such as no new offenses, give PR bonds your current information so they can contact you. You'll be reporting to them. You can't be using any illegal substances. And if you violate any of those conditions, you have to show up to all your court hearings. You violate any of those conditions, we can revoke your PR bond and issue a warrant for your arrest. Understood?
Yeah.
All right. Anything further, counsel?
Nothing from the state, Your Honor.
And nothing from the defense. Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you. All right.
May we be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. You may be excused.
Okay. Take care. It's nice seeing you all.
Take care, Brown. I believe that wraps up our jail docket, so everybody but my staff may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Are we still live, Judge?
Yes, let me term that. Let me just, I was trying to kick the jail out of there.